Hello, I'm Dan Williams, the Media Relations Director for the City of Cleveland, and this is the Bottom Line Up Front. In this edition of Bluff, I will discuss what you should know about Labor Day. For many, Labor Day means only two things: the last day of summer and a 3-day break during the first weekend in September. However, this raises, or should raise, a few questions. First, why is it called Labor Day? And second, how did it start? Labor Day is a national holiday celebrated here in the United States and in Canada since 1894. Some credit goes to the early labor unions who celebrated the first Labor Days in the United States. Meanwhile, many historians credit Peter McGuire. Mr. McGuire was the General Secretary of Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners and a co-founder of the American Federation of Labor. What else is associated with Labor Day? The first Labor Day parade occurred September 5th, 1882 in New York City, 12 years before it became an official holiday here in the United States. The workers' unions chose the first Monday in September because it was halfway between Independence Day and Thanksgiving. The idea spread across the country, and some states designated Labor Day as a holiday before the federal holiday was created. President Grover Cleveland signed a law designating the first Monday in September as Labor Day nationwide. This is interesting because President Cleveland was not a labor union supporter. In fact, he was trying to repair some political damage that he suffered earlier that year when he sent federal troops to put down a strike by the American Railway Union at the Pullman Company in Chicago, Illinois. That action resulted in the deaths of 34 workers. In Europe, China, and other parts of the world, May Day is the first day in May and is a holiday during which workers and labor unions are celebrated. Before it became an international workers' holiday, May Day was a celebration of spring and the promise of summer. Membership in labor unions in the United States reached an all-time high in the 1950s when about 40% of the workforce belonged to unions. Today, union membership is about 14% of the working population. Labor Day now carries less significance as a celebration of working people and more as the end of summer. Schools, government offices, and businesses are closed on Labor Day, so people can get in one last trip to the beach or have one last cookout before the weather starts to turn colder. Some other fun facts: America's labor force consists of 155 million people older than 16. The average worker commutes for about 25 minutes. Laborers in the 1880s often worked 12 hours a day, every day of the week. The median worker's wage in 2010 was $36,931 for women and $47,715 for men. The 8-hour workday was established in 1916. Oregon was the first state to celebrate the holiday officially in 1887. By the time it became an official federal holiday in 1894, 30 states were already officially celebrating Labor Day. In other parts of the world, Labor Day or May Day celebrations are more political in nature. The bottom line: Labor Day is a national holiday celebrated here in the United States and Canada since 1894. Oregon was the first state to celebrate the holiday officially in 1887. President Grover Cleveland signed a law designating the first Monday in September as Labor Day nationwide in 1894. The first Labor Day parade occurred September 5th, 1882 in New York City. In the 1950s, about 40% of the workforce belonged to unions. Today, union membership is about 14% of the working population. I'm Dan Williams, and this has been the Bottom Line Up Front.